Hampton High School. Valedictorian Brianna Adkins.
Field hockey has been one of my passions since 7th grade. I started playing after my sister started playing, and I play it year round. So we practice on the weekends, and then practices pick up during the summer when preparing for season, or even just to get in better condition. And we play in a few tournaments in Arizona, Florida. There's gonna be tournaments in California and different places in Virginia. And it's one of my escapes, because when I'm playing field hockey, I don't have to think about anything else. I can just think about what I'm doing, and I can think about my team, and I don't have to think about a paper I have due tomorrow or a test I have next week, or just anything even I have to do at home. So it's a way I can just kind of like escape from everything else, take a break, and then I'm relaxed, good, ready to go with the rest of the stuff I have to do. I guess I was just kind of excited because everything's paid off, like working so hard throughout all of high school. I was kind of aware, though, of my number, my place, and I knew that I had to keep it up. So it was just kind of like a sigh of relief that, I don't have to worry anymore. You have to put all your effort into it. Like in my classes, I didn't just pick the classes that I knew I was going to like or the classes I was going to have fun with. I picked hard classes, so I purposely challenged myself. And then I knew that when I got the work, I wasn't going to complain because I asked for it. So, and you have to just stay on top of things and just do your work and be committed to it. If you're not committed to doing it, then you're not going to do well. My parents have been a big support system for me. Whenever I wanted to challenge myself with harder classes, my mom's like, okay, I'll go with you. You try first, and then if you still need help, I have your back. And I stayed up late many nights, always came in, do you need anything, or can I do anything for you? And then all my teachers have always been supportive if I needed anything. But I have a good memory, so I remember things easily. Plus, I write down everything I hear. So even if it's not as important, or someone might think, oh, that's not really relevant, I write out full detailed. I don't even use shorthand. When my teachers, when they give me work, I do all of it, and I make a point to ask questions, because if I didn't ask questions, then I'm not going to get what I need. But it definitely helps when the teachers give you a lot of types of material to learn from. Like from 9th grade to 12th grade, I know I've definitely changed, and it hasn't been bad. It's been a good change. I mean, I've grown up, we've all matured, and we've made it, because high school is not easy, regardless of what kind of classes you take or what kind of extracurriculars you participate in. Everyone has gone through something to get to this point. I only applied to Harvard. I applied early decision because I had committed to field hockey over the summer, so I knew, okay, I'm applying early decision. If I don't get in, then we're going to have to reevaluate, but I was planning on playing field hockey for them, so there was no other choices to apply to. I played tennis actually in middle school and elementary school. Throughout, I did a lot of lessons, but came 8th grade year, and the school I was in, they were in the field hockey and tennis were in the same season, so I picked field hockey over tennis, and I actually hadn't played tennis again until this year because I've been so focused on my field hockey. But I was at the point in my field hockey practice where I actually had some time in my schedule. I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to actually play tennis this year, and I'm really glad I did it because I've had fun. And I've won my matches, and I've made more friends too. So I wish I had more time to do it in the past couple of years, but I'm glad I got to do it now. It's really fun. It's not as much of an escape as field hockey, but you definitely get some aggression out when you're hitting the ball. You can't let anybody tell you no. You have to know if you want to take harder classes, then you have to push and fight for yourself. I mean, your parents can help you, your teachers can help you, but in the end it has to be about you. If you don't work for it and you don't try hard and you don't push yourself and fight for yourself and be your own advocate, then you're not going to get anywhere. Because if people say no, and you're just like, okay, they told me no, I can't do it, or I can't take this class, or anything, or your parents, even some people can say, oh, you're not going to get that good grade, this person's going to get a good grade. You have to say, no, I'm going to get the good grade. And believe in yourself first, and if you don't believe in yourself, no one else is going to believe in you. So it's kind of the idea that once you believe in yourself and you commit to what you want to do, set a goal for yourself, set a vision, and then you can achieve whatever you want to do as long as you put any effort into it that you have, all your effort, all your strength.
Keep moving. Right, keep moving. Time. Good, keep moving. Off your right, Christy, off your right.
Salutatorian Tiffany Sell.
You want to step straight. It's the same thing with driving. Your feet tell you where you're going to go. My sister started playing field hockey. She got into it for about one season, and then she just kind of went off because none of her friends did it or anything. So I told her, I was like, well, you know what? Get a group of girls together. I'll talk to our coach, get goalie gear. We'll coach you guys. And so we did it, and I mean, it was just amazing to see. They had just started out, so their first game, they had like 15 goals scored on them. But it was amazing because they walked away with smiles on their face, and 14 of those goals were scored in the first half, and they came back and they were just, it was just amazing to see the progress and the impact that I was making on them, and just seeing how every practice they would come back with something new and something like that. It's just amazing to see the girls' progress. I used to joke around with my dad that the reason I was so smart is because I ate Smarties all the time, and then he'd tell me it's no, because you're always reading and all that stuff. So reading was a big part for me when I was little. My parents, I mean, they never really pushed me, like they've never made me sit down and do my homework. It's one of those things where I think the fact that they didn't really push me necessarily is the fact that I knew I could get it done and it would make them happy to get it done. So it was kind of the way that they went about it, is they weren't like, you have to get your homework done, this is your homework hour. They let me do my own schedule, which was good for me because it let me explore what I needed to do for myself. I mean, it's just the impact that I make on others, and seeing that it's because I'm well-rounded and stuff like that, that helps motivate me more. And the ability that I can go out, if I get this done, I can go run or something like that, that motivation helps me out a lot. I applied to a lot of different schools just to kind of see what they'd give me and stuff like that, so I'd have a lot of options. Like I applied to Duquesne, got in St. Vincent College, Bridgewater, Shenandoah, Virginia Wesleyan, Widener, Ohio University. It was a lot of different schools. And in the end, I chose Bridgewater because they did offer me full tuition. So the money was a big deal because I know no matter where I go, I can make my education what I want it to be. I can push myself in any environment. And I know, because I want to do physical therapy and become a physical therapist, I can go to the Duke for graduate school after I go through undergrad and stuff like that. I can go to the big schools for graduate school if I want to. Whereas this time I can sit there and I like the small environment. I can create my own learning environment pretty much. So I like that idea. And it's in the middle of nowhere, which I like being in the middle of nowhere, so.
Candidates have the charge to continually expand their world through the opportunities inherent in scholarship.
I like the National Honor Society because it gives people who have succeeded and stuff like that, it gives them a group to be in and stuff like that. And I like the big basis on community service that we do, because you have to have a certain number of hours a week. I'm actually in charge of that as vice president. And the reason I wanted to do vice president this year is because I wanted to step up and take a leadership role in it and help out. Come up with your own plan, figure out where you want to be first, and then work up to that, which path you want to take, because there's a million different paths to get to the same destination. Another thing, like I said, it's a big part for me, make an impact on someone, because you have no idea how big that's going to mean to you. Like when I had the little girl tell me that I was her role model, like that was the biggest impact that anything's ever had on me, is because you sit back and you look, wow, these people look up to me. So you kind of have that responsibility, and because you have that responsibility and you know those people are counting on you, it's not really stressful, but it more helps you be more successful. So some people may be like, oh, well, that's going to stress me out. It'll make you more successful because you're more motivated. So just help someone and do what you want to do, come up with your own path. Good stop. Just instead of just stopping in between your legs, sometimes they'll call you for that, you just want to take a step back, okay?
Sorry, girl.
Phoebus High School. Valedictorian Mia Knowles.
It is not until I sing into the sunset, it is not until no one can see me that I can see you, and I can feel you. You are my strength.
I really love to write poetry. It's just something that I do in my free time. I'm constantly thinking of riddles and rhymes in my head. I don't even really know where I got it from, because like my mom's not a big writer. I've never met any famous writer that sort of inspired me to write. I've just always been I've always been a good observant person, so I really like to look into things. I really like looking into the deeper meanings of things. So I would say poetry is definitely something that I just do because it inspires me to do things. I come up with quotes all the time to sort of push me through things. As a 7th grader in middle school, I kind of told my mom, I was like, my goal is to be valedictorian. And I was kind of joking around because I had heard about it, and I was like, oh, that's #1 in your class. And I've always really liked to set really high goals for myself. So I had kind of said in 7th grade, jokingly, I'm going to be #1 in my class because I'm going to be the best, because I just kind of have that competitive goal-setting mentality. So when I found out I was officially valedictorian, it was relieving, because my junior year was really rough. So I actually didn't even know if my grades would actually, you know, be up there anymore. My mom, she has been the biggest supporter in my life because she's a single parent. I'm an only child. So I didn't have that sort of like traditional family with a mom or dad, and then outside of that, I'm adopted. So, you know, it was being with a person who chose to pick me, to bring me into their family. So that was, my mom has always been supportive of me. She's given me the opportunities to branch out. I have the kind of friends who will literally come to my house and we'll have a study group party. Like, we actually study. I really do have those kinds of friends, and I'm more than grateful for them. So, I mean, maintaining a social life is actually not that difficult. I've managed to really balance it just because my friends are supportive of what I want to do. Ready, set, draw. Anime is Japanese cartoons, so while, you know, Americans, we grew up with Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, Daffy, you know, Bugs Bunny. They grew up with, you know, Astro Boy, Hamtaro, Sailor Moon. I actually first got into it maybe around 3rd grade. I stayed up late one night, found it on TV, and I just really got into it. I applied to ODU, Virginia Tech, UVA, Vassar, Rice, Emory, Wake Forest, and Williams. Williams, it was overwhelming. It was exciting. It was an adrenaline rush. The people there were just so nice. It was just so exciting. Like, the Williams atmosphere was just so welcoming, and it felt so much like home. Bill Gates, definitely, if I meet that man, I will hug him so hard. I will thank him for everything he will be doing for me, because, I mean, he'll be paying for my college life up through doctorates. So I am more than grateful. Graduate school, I don't have to worry about any of that. I can do as many study abroad programs as I want to. Any technology like laptops that I need, they pay for that. I actually didn't find out from them. I found out from my mom, who was at the post office. Oh. And all I remember picking up the phone, I was driving to school. I remember picking up the phone, and I remember hearing clapping in the background, and I was like, "Mom, where are you?" She was like, "You got it." I was like, "God, what?" You know, because by the time I'm applying to a ton of scholarships by now, so I'm like, "What did I get?" You know, $500 something, you know. And she was like, "You have the Bill Gates thing," and I was like, "Nuh-uh." I was just like in tears, and I was like, "Wow." Because in the back of my mind, like, as I've applied for colleges and applied to schools, I've always tried to really keep in mind that, you know, my mom is a single parent, and, you know, not everything is or has been as easy for her to, you know, to support all the things that I do, because I was just like, "Mom, you helped me do this. Like, if you didn't do everything for, like, you know, help me do everything and, you know, expand my horizons to anime and to engineering, you know, I wouldn't have gotten this scholarship because they wouldn't have seen anything." So I'm like, all this potential you put in me, and I was just so happy to be able to sort of be like, "Hey, this is for you."
You are that part of me that makes me shine and feel alive. My strength comes from you. You hold me when the tears finally pour out.
Salutatorian Ian Griffin.
All right, Dale, it's all you, bud.
I was really excited because my family, like in high school, they've never really been the brainiacs or anything, and I pretty much set the tone as being the last child too. And I know my family was really excited. I was accepted to Clemson, JMU, and University of Maryland. And I chose JMU because, well, money is a big factor. Because if I was going to go to University of Maryland or Clemson, I was going to have to take probably $20,000 a year in private loans. And then JMU's in-state as well, and everything's covered for it going there. And it's a good school. It's got great food. It's a great academics. Tons of girls. When you graduate, it's not the end of the road. It's a new beginning, because you're either going to go into the military, college, or straight into the workforce, and that it's a new beginning for everybody after graduation. When you go to college, you're on your own. You have to manage your time because you have so much more freedom. And then when it comes to schoolwork, you're used to that amount of work. To some average students, that's going to be an eye-opener that a 3-page paper that's due in a week is mind-blowing, but at the same time, in my state of mind, it's something you just have to do. That not everything's given to you. You have to work for stuff in life. When you work hard for it, it feels so good at the end of the day when you know you worked hard and then you got results out of it.
All right, Dale, it's all you, bud.
Kecoughtan High School. Valedictorian T.J. Stokes.
Sax is cool because it's applicable to a lot of different musical situations. You can play it in jazz, or you can play it in more upbeat music, pop, and it's just, there's a lot of room for expression. I think I used to play the trumpet and I didn't feel that it was as expressive as saxophone, and also like playing saxophone doesn't take as much upkeep as trumpet. Like trumpet, if you want to be really good, you have to practice every day. Saxophone, I don't feel like it takes as much upkeep, but that you get the same bang for your buck with a little bit less work, so I really enjoy playing it. The cool thing about music is that it's something that relates to everybody across language boundaries, across ethnic boundaries, across every type of boundary that we have constructed for ourselves, and so it's a really cool way of opening up the door to speak a message into someone's life. That's probably the biggest thing that I've been looking forward to, is being able to send my classmates off into the next chapter of their lives with a few words of encouragement and motivation. It's just you have to pick and choose how you're going to spend that small amount of time that you want to dedicate to the things that are lower down the priority list. And obviously putting your work into school is going to come back to you, and scholarships can come back to you in a great college opportunity, so you want to keep that high up on your priority list. And your close circle of friends and just being accountable to people is also high up on your priority list, so you want to leave time for that. My dad, just his resilience and his perseverance with everything that he does in his life, and especially with his job, has really taught me that sacrifice is something that I'm going to need to learn how to do if I want to make an impact in other people's lives. I was accepted to Liberty first, then Shenandoah, then UVA, then UNC Chapel Hill, Duke, Stanford, Washington and Lee, and Yale. I was really blown away by the city of New Haven and how vibrant it was, the campus of Yale and how it's integrated within the city and not just completely isolated, but not completely urban either. It's kind of in the middle and a balance between that. And how down to earth, the people were, even though it's Yale. Like they didn't seem proud or that they even thought of their education as being set apart from other people's educations, but that they were just really passionate about impacting the world through learning about the world that we live in, and also they were very passionate about their extracurricular activities as well. Your efforts are something that's going to contribute to you like an internal sense of fulfillment, but it's also going to come back to you in like cold hard cash. It's going to come back to you in scholarships. It's going to come back to you in being in the right place to meet the right person that might become your future spouse, or being in the right place to meet the person that's going to get you a job in the future. So it seems so intangible right now, but if you just keep on persevering, it's going to come back to you in tangible benefits that you will be very glad that you worked for.
Salutatorian Brooke Smith.
Ever since I was little, like 2, I would get on the rocking horse and sit there and neigh for the pony. And then as I got older, I was like, Mom, can I ride? Mom, can I ride? And finally they started to let me ride just to get it out of my system. And I ended up getting really into it because I'm pretty good at sports. Like, I'm just kind of athletic. But the thing with horse is it's a whole nother animal. It's a bond and a connection that I don't really get with people as easily as with the animals, because people lie and they cheat. And it's just kind of like, you know that what they're going to do. And it's interesting to see the differences and make the friends you do at the stables and the hard work it's taught me. And I've basically become more of a more well-rounded person because of all the hard work I put into it. I'm out there 3 to 7 days a week. I'm riding constantly, at least 2 to 3 horses every day. And it's something that keeps my mind off of stress. It's very close between number 3 and I, so my first thought was, I did it, I'm so happy. I get to make my speech, I get to be up on stage and see everybody and see all the moms crying and dads screaming. We've just finished an entire segment of our lives. It's everything we've known, and we're doing something completely new and different, whether it be college or training or go straight into the job field. Whatever it is, it's a whole new ball game. My parents, both of them, my dad mostly because he's a perfectionist and I get that from him and I see what I'm doing wrong and what I can fix. And then my mom, because she's a very nice person, she's really smart, they're both super successful, and they're just a lot to look up to. I was accepted to University of Maryland Engineering, NC State Engineering, Georgia Tech Engineering, and Virginia Tech Engineering. It came down to Georgia Tech and Virginia Tech. Basically, financially, put me at Virginia Tech. And when I went to Virginia Tech, the first people I met, they brought me in, they showed me around, they talked to me about what they do, what they love. We played Frisbee. Later, I got to meet a few NFL players who used to play at Tech, and I got to hang out with some of them. Quite a few of them are from around this area, and we talked about back here. And it was just this huge connection that everybody made, and I loved it there. It was family. It was a community of tradition rather than a community of individuals. If you want to be successful in life, you need to put what you love first.
Bethel High School. Valedictorian, Jonafe Mariano.
Left, right, left.
Well, there's a lot of members of my family who are in the military, and when I found out about this program, I said, let me try this and see how would I benefit. And then I found out about the college ROTC, and it's like, oh, this keep getting better and better. So I'm planning to take a college ROTC, so after I graduate with a bachelor's degree, they would commission me as an officer in the military. And I say JROTC has been a great help, because at least when I get to college ROTC, I would have an idea of what things to expect. I felt very accomplished because after 4 years of hard work here at Bethel High School, I felt it finally paid off. And having the opportunity to speak in front of my fellow graduates and their families is a great honor. Both of my parents, they've been always supportive, and my friends, they're supportive too. And the teachers, I have one teacher in particular here who served as my mentor for the past 4 years. It's my senior Army instructor, Colonel Gordon. For the most part, school takes a lot of my time, but since I enjoy learning, it doesn't bother me at all. And I do have the weekends for my friends and family too. Well, the very first college that accepted me was Virginia Commonwealth University. It was a month after I applied. And the second one was University of California, San Diego. And the third one was University of Virginia. But due to financial constraints, I chose Virginia Commonwealth University. Plus, I like the environment there. It's just more me. I'm playing the piano. I just love playing the piano.
si Mariano at ako ang valedictorian ng BETHEL High School.
Salutatorian Amber Gonzalez.
Grab your clothes and get gone. You better hurry up before the sprinklers come on. Talking about, girl, I love you, you're the one. This just looks like a rerun. Please, what else is on? And don't tell me you're sorry, 'cause you're not. Baby, when I know you're only sorry you got caught. And the award for the best life goes to you for making me believe that you could.
It's something I really enjoy doing. I act all the time. I do accents, and I just have a lot of fun with it. And I don't know, it's something that I do any day of the week, any time. I was walking through the hallway when they announced it on the PA system, so I was just kind of surprised because I didn't expect that. And then I had everybody congratulating me on the way to class, so I knew, but I didn't expect them to announce it. So when I heard it, I was just like, oh, that's really cool. I do study a lot, and I really have to stay focused. I can't go without studying to get everything. I really have to try hard. It's not something that I could just do off the top of my head. I really have to work, and it takes a lot of determination for me. I was originally going to start playing soccer, but it was too expensive, so we heard about the rec team that they were doing with BETHEL, so we decided to come try it out, and I really liked it, and it kind of came natural to me. Like, I was kind of stiff when I first started playing, and I kind of watched the ball a lot, but as the time went on, I just really liked it. I think my favorite thing to do is hit the ball. It's a good stress reliever. I just like working with people. It opened me up a lot more because I used to be really shy. I got accepted to Lynchburg College, Liberty University, Roanoke College, and West Virginia University. And I chose West Virginia because I saw their theater program, and it looked really fun. Like, you get to build sets and work on the lighting and everything. So I thought that was if I was going to go for theater, that was the place I wanted to go. Do your best and study hard, but don't become overwhelmed with your schoolwork that you don't have any outside life, because it's important, and an outside life definitely relieves your stress.
Let's hear your speech. Really had me going. Now it's time to go. Curtains finally closing. That was quite a show. Very entertaining. But it's over now.